Hey everyone, and welcome back to our podcast. It's Healthy Podcast. So, in today's episode, I want to break a little bit uh, the normal routine talking about the healthy lifestyle, and I want to talk about the insights of the Eat Healthy company that, as you know, we make healthy cakes, vegan, gluten-free cakes, and cheesecakes in London. We are based in London. We deliver only in London, and actually, that's quite funny because I think one of our listeners to this podcast from America, because most of the listeners are from America, uh, told someone, a friend or relative in London, about our company. So I think this is how it worked. So that person from London order a cake from us and also leave a review and said that a person from America, a relative from America, told us about this company and was quite amazing, to be honest with you. And I really appreciate that. And I want to say thank you, even if they still listen to our podcast or not. And thank you so much. And I want to talk about because it's quite hard. I swear to God, it's quite hard. It's unbelievably hard. Like I knew from the beginning that food industry, like open a business in the food industry, is the hardest thing that you can do. Like literally, I think it's in top five industries, if not higher, in top five industries or higher, that the failing rate is so high. It is so hard to penetrate the market. It's so hard to keep going. It's so hard to um, create a brand around your product, even if it's a drink product, even if it's a food product. It's so hard. Like the this industry, it's unbelievably hard. But this is the path that I choose. I knew from the beginning, and I really believe that people should eat more nuts, seeds, and fruits because of many reasons, like the quality of the fibers, the quantity of the fibers that you get, and most of the people don't even eat one fruit per day. Not even saying about a week, months. I don't want to mention the fruit, the nuts, seeds, like, and who wants, to be honest with you, who wants to eat raw nuts and seeds? Like literally, who wants to eat like daily? No one wants. They want a little bit of salt on them. They want roasted and so on. So lots of things like the natural things that nuts, seeds, and fruits contain, and can the nutritious part that can help people, is just wasted. Not wasted, but destroyed through these processes like roasting and adding many other flavors. Some of the nuts and seeds, if you take some heat and add it to it, like prepare it just a little bit, the the temperature, hot temperature, can make them, activate them kind of, and releasing the oils and the flavors like sesame seeds, for example. And that's another discussion, but in reality, you people don't really want to eat nut seeds and fruits daily, and they try to avoid them as much as possible. So through this product on the market, and trying as hard as possible to create this brand, it's healthy around them, and try to promote and push as much as possible this kind of products that can help people enjoy actually nuts, seeds, and fruits. Not on a daily basis, but they can enjoy it like through a cake. Can you imagine? Like through a cake. That's the main thing. But anyway, it's extremely hard. It's extremely hard, and especially when you promote it as a cake. When you go out there, when you promote yourself, your products as cakes, you start competing with sponge cakes. And because you start comparing, not comparing, but dealing, not dealing, like fight or something like that with sponge cakes, you just lost the battle. Like from the beginning, you lost the battle. And also, like if, for example, on a scale 1 to 10, you choose an industry and a category and the very niche product, and the the hardest thing that you can do is on a scale is on number 8, for example, on a scale from 1 to 10, because now you create this niche product that competes with sponge cakes, because you call it a cake. It's just go 10 out of 10. The hardest thing that you can do, especially in London, where it's a big market, where you have big competitors, you have very old brands that put, for example, 10, 20, maybe 30K in advertising. And also is 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 much harder for a company like us, because when we promote cake as a cake, the term cake, the market don't really understand what we are doing. Because, for example, this is what I want to talk in this episode, because we start the ads, is just they are looking, for example, for vegan gluten-free cake in London, and when they get to our website, they are a little bit confused, because they see this kind of raw vegan cakes and they wanted a sponge cake. And when they see this kind of cakes, they are like, what? No, I didn't want this, I want a sponge cake. So our job become harder, because we have to kind of educate the people about this kind of cakes. And this is the most time and money consuming part of our job, of our business, because it is so hard to educate people about this kind of cakes. Takes time, takes money. And for example, because I had experiences from another country in food industry, was quite easy 10 years ago or 12 years ago, when the social media and everything was at the kind of at the beginning, depending on the country. You could have put, for example, 10 pounds in ads, and you could have see like a 2 3x return, especially when a food product that everyone knew. Like, you don't have to explain too much, you don't have to educate people, and so on. And now we have 6 years on the market, and the benchmark of the food industry is that the food companies in the first 5 years, they have over 80% failing rate in 5 years. So we kind of pass that benchmark, and we are in the 6th year. And because I didn't have a budget for ads from the beginning, I have like bits and pieces, like around £1,000 per year or something like that at the beginning. Was quite hard. So we pushed a lot on social media, like everyone said, like posting, posting, posting. This is what we've done in the last 6 years. And now, because I'm a little bit much better financially, kind of stable, I said, okay, I'm gonna go full blast, all in, put all my money on this company, because I saw the reviews that keep coming from the clients. So at the moment, we have 5-star rating on Google Maps from around 325, 324, something like that. This is the number that we have, 5-star review on Google. And actually, right now on advertising, it's so strange and so complicated. I didn't realize that. So 3 months ago, I'm in the third month. So 3 months ago, I decided to go all in because I realized that in London, to be able to penetrate the market, to be able to grow, for people to know you, and also it's like fighting with sharks, to be honest with you. Being in London and trying to create a food product and a brand around it, you need a budget. You can't create something in London in the food market, which is the hardest one, without a budget. So I said, okay, fine. I got two credit cards, and on each credit card, I think I have a line of between 2.5 k pounds and 6 k pounds. Something like this is the margin, and I didn't really know what I'm doing, so I started with ads, with Google Ads. So I start putting money in ads. I start getting some traction. I put around like £1,000 at the beginning on 1 month, and then doing my researches using ChatGPT and other AI. They told me, like, for a food brand, like for a niche product like ours, you need a budget of at least 2.5k per month, which is ridiculous. I don't have that amount of money or supporting that for a long term. So I changed a little bit the way, and I said, this is my budget, like £1,000 per month. And I started in September, the middle of September, 14th of September. I started advertising on Google Ads. So I starting over there, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I started getting some orders, not a lot. Then I had the return clients, which is quite good. It's okay. And I think in the first month I lost around £460, which is not bad, but it's not okay for me at this moment in time. Then second month, I think I spent around 1,300 or 1,400, something like that, and the loss was around 600 and something. And now I'm in the third month, and I'm waiting to see the results. So probably on the third month, I'm looking of an investment of £1,700, around that area. I have the numbers because everything I recorded. I have the numbers, but not in front of me right now. So it's kind of like £1,700. This is the amount that I will spend on the third month, and I hope I hope the loss will be much lower than the second month. And the thing that I learned, because I made changes and changes and changes, and the most important thing is, when you start advertising for any other companies, it doesn't matter which industry you are in, try to not make a lot of changes. Try to not be implicated emotionally. Like, don't take any decision that implies your emotions. Look on the data, and now, because we have ChatGPT and Grok and any other AI tools, they can analyze your data. If you provide all the data that they need about your ads, they can provide you, like, decisions, mathematical decisions based on your data. So this is the biggest mistake that I've done. Lots of changes. So because I made lots of changes, the algorithm of ads, of Google Ads, keep resetting. So because of that, I think I delayed the results with 10 or 20 days, which is quite bad. I didn't lose the money because I had people went to my website, saw the logos, saw the name, saw the cakes. So it's not kind of losing data, but it at this moment in time, because I don't have big budgets and I don't have investors, it's quite bad for me. because I really need results quite fast. I need sales, I need new clients, and I need more reviews on Google Maps. This is what kind of feeds the algorithm and the trust and so on. So this is the biggest mistake that I've done. And the thing that I learned during this 2 months is that whenever in what industry you are, doesn't matter, you need volume at the beginning. So if you can get, for example, if you have a budget and you can get increase the budget every month, for example, from first to second month, this is the only change that you are allowed to do, but once per month, is to increase the number of clicks, the number of users that goes to your website, to your products, that can see your products and websites. So for example, if you can buy per day to have between 300 or 200 and 500 clicks per day, and your site can support that, and your site runs smoothly at that um, level of users, it's perfect, because volume counts a lot in the first 2 3 months of ads, because in this way, the more volume you have, the better the algorithm behind Google Ads works, because you feed data to that algorithm. So the more data you feed him, the better decisions he will make later, and you have bigger chances of conversions. So basically, for example, the benchmarks for a better conversion rate for Google Ads is between 40 to 60 conversions. So after that benchmark, Google gets smarter and delivering you people that are high intending to buy. So at the same time, if you can have in the background with £5 or £10 per day on a meta ad, retargeting all the users that went to your page and actively added to cart or started the checkout process or even purchased, and you just retarget those and let meta work behind, kind of like, you have to understand that those £5 to £10 that you put in meta for retargeting, you just forget about it. You don't think about that loss. You don't take in consideration it's money lost. Just forget about it. Just let it run during these 2 3 months, where you put a lot, where Google tries to put a lot of volume on your site. So once that is happening, Meta, the algorithm behind Meta, learn as well. So when you put these two things in place, over 2 3 months starts becoming better, both of them, which is amazing, because after you get over 3 months, and if you have a budget that can keep going, you can support that budget for over 2 3 months, you'll start getting results. And to be honest, this is my first week on the third month, and I kind of see getting back on track. So for example, I spend less this first week from the third month compared with the first week from the second month. So it's a little bit better. I have more conversions, not more conversions, actually less with one conversions than the second month, first week, but the spending is less, which obviously decreases the client purchase, which is amazing. So I'm really curious about the second week. I'm really curious about that. So these are the things that I learned until now, because I start advertising. And these are the things, like, the food industry is the hardest thing that you can go into it in London. To to increase to create a brand in the food market and promote it, you need investors, or you need a lot of money for advertising. First thing, when you start advertising, you need volume. It doesn't matter in what industry you are, you need volume. And you need a cash flow to keep going for at least 3 months. So you have to think about the losses. You'll have losses. You have to understand you'll have losses. It doesn't matter, you'll have losses for around 3 months. So don't get emotional. That's why you need a line of credit, yeah, from banks, loan, credit cards, and you'll see results. Probably I'll see the results after 3 months. So you have to keep strong over there. You need volume, and you need Google to provide the clicks, because our high intended buyers are they, like, the data shows that people that are going from Google ads, they literally are much more high intended to buy. And to run in background meta with retargeting, that will help tremendously to learn about all the behaviors, especially if you have the pixel, the meta pixel installed on your website and can track every single event. Will be amazing. So this is what I learned until now. I hope that I can reach to 400 reviews by the end of the year. Is quite a big goal, but I hope that I can reach to 400 reviews, 5-star reviews on Google by the end of this year, 2025. And I'll keep you posted with with the evolution of this of this business. I hope it grows. It grows a lot. I hope, because people really need healthier things. Like, in the world that we live today, and uh, how how the products are on the market right now on the shelves, and it's just very hard and expensive to find something that is healthy, nutritious, and good for yourself. It's so hard. So look, I literally try my best here to to promote something that is good for people, and I hope it will work, and I'll try my best. I'm focused 100%. I'll try my best. I put my money where my mouth is. As I said, I took 2 credit cards. I can max them out and still lose. I don't care, but I'm all in. Put all my money on this, and hopefully, slowly, start getting back the results. So, yeah, that's today's podcast. About you a little bit longer, but anyway. Um, from what I know, whoever listens, if you guys follow us on Podbean, for example, if you click the button and follow us, it will help. It will help this podcast. It will help actually the algorithm from the platforms to push this podcast higher, a little bit and higher. So if you can please, and also obviously, if you like the podcast and what we're talking here, um, if you like it, just press the follow button to help us go further and further. So yeah, thank you so much, and see you next time. Bye.